Greetings, pests. I mean, guests. Welcome to the Book Club for Masochists, our Reader's Advisory podcast visual novel stream. Today we'll be streaming Us Lovely Corpses because it decided to be spooky on the weekend. 3 p.m., the creepiest time of day. So, Book Club for Masochists is a podcast in which we read and discuss all the genres and types of literature, regardless of our actual interest in them. Every month, we read books from a new, randomly selected genre. Then in the podcast, we discuss our reading choices, experiences, opinions, appeal factors, and other related topics as friends and library workers. We've covered everything from American Gothic to true crime, and we also cover formats sometimes. Formats are things like audiobooks, short stories, and visual novels. Visual novels got added to our list because we thought it would be interesting to do several years in the future. And then immediately after we added it, it was the first thing that came up when we rolled the random number generator. So I'm streaming visual novels every day this month. Saturdays are spooky because I think it's funny to dress up spooky. And we'll see how this goes. So yes, come along with me on this stream. And let's get started with Us Lovely Corpses. There we go. Okay. So this game, I'm not super familiar, but I do know that it contains mature and intense themes and is not recommended for players under 16. So that is not me, but I might be easily disturbed. So we'll see how this goes. An in-depth list of content warnings is available. Let's take a look at it so all of you know what's going on as well. So, author's note number 1, this game contains mature and intense themes and is not recommended for players under age 16. Contains animal death, body horror, blood, homophobia, self-harm, suicide, self-hatred, and violence. None of those things are very fun, so if you're worried about any of those, I guess maybe don't watch this stream. We'll see how far I get. There's note 2. The monster knows you are here. It will do its best to make you leave. As such, the game will occasionally do startling and unexpected things. I should be creepier in my voice, huh? Do my best. Are you prepared? Yes. As far as anyone could tell, the Flores family had not committed any mortal sin. No fairy complained of improper etiquette. No witch reported anything missing from the garden. No one had been insulted, injured, or otherwise aggrieved. But that didn't stop a monster from showing up for their daughter one day. It was quiet, painless, and swift. The monster left nothing but a mark on the girl and a promise to hang over her head. I will return for you one day, little miss. I will not take your life, nor will I harm your body. But I will never leave you. Dang, I got here just in time. It's really starting to come down hard. As I do my best to outrun the splatter of raindrops on the pavement, the familiar shock of pink walls emerges from behind the treetops. It feels a bit like being greeted by a friend. Is this like the Coraline house? The Flores house is an old money house. I mean, it's clearly a money house at least. Anyone could puzzle out that a place this size has to come with a serious price tag. It's really classy too, with a porch and pillars and everything. Victorian, I think. Gothic revival? Look, I'm a witch, not a real estate agent. My point is, it's a really nice house. Even with all the creepy death vines and the monster in the attic. Well, let's clock in. Knock, knock, knock. The Flores family always has at least 2 housekeepers employed, but they've got a bad record vis-a-vis keeping them around for long. As such, it's not a surprise to see an unfamiliar face open the door. Oh, thank God. You're the De Rosa girl, right? The assistant? They told me about you. Where's the witch? Well, you're looking at her. The witch that I work with. She's my grandma, and she's preoccupied with other business today. So, this is my first solo job. The housekeeper's eye casually twitches. You're the witch. How old are you? 18? 19? Is that a problem? No, not at all. It's completely fine. Why on earth should I be worried? Just because I woke up in a real-life horror movie this morning. Just because half the house has been taken over by those horrible things. Just because I've been working in this house for a week and out of nowhere a literal monster appeared and abducted my employer's daughter. And God knows what happened to her. And God knows what'll happen to me. But no, it's fine. Why not send a child to help us? A child on her first solo job. Sure, why not? Wouldn't want to break the streak we're going on today. After all, I just love suddenly being shunted to nightmare worlds where logic is gone and murder's vines have replaced it. I love hearing my superior respond to, a rose whispered to me about dead animals with, oh, that's normal. I love terror. I love being in hell. I can't wait for Satan to jump up my ass and tap dance. I swear to whatever God might still be up there, if one more thing happens under this roof, I'm going to... Betty. Andrea puts a hand on the woman's shoulder, and within an instant, she's quiet and pale. Take a deep breath. A monster. A literal monster. I thought everyone was being sarcastic. I know, hon. Why don't you go sit down for a little while? This was just supposed to be extra money for the boat. Betty staggers like a fawn over to the nearby chair. After a moment, she drops into it bornlessly. I hear a faint noise like the boat drift down the hall. Hey, sorry about, all that. Hey, don't sweat it. I love being casually insulted to my face. I love when people don't take me seriously because of my age. It's super great. Be nice. She's a newbie. Through all the talk about the Flores monster was just a joke, huh? She's not the first. Andrea is the one housekeeper who stuck around the Flores family the longest, so all of this is old hat to her. She's probably more annoyed by Betty's theatrics than the monster kidnapping her ward, but she's also too soft-hearted to tell the other woman to get a grip. I guess in a way we're coworkers, but more than anything, we're friends. So how have you been? Oh, same as usual. Exhausted. Aren't we all? So what? We're looking at a typical case? Vines have taken over the attic and second floor completely. Oops. Back. The most affected areas were all the usual ones. Office, bathroom, reading room, her bedroom too. The Mr. and Mrs. Gone since Monday. They're on a trip to South Padre. We haven't actually told them yet. And Marisol, and you know who? They're in the usual place? Yeah. Righto. Well, that's everything. I think I'll get to work. No point in putting it off any longer. You're sure you'll be okay on your own? Andrea, remember what I said literally 2 minutes ago about people not taking me seriously? Alex, it's not about your age. It'll be the first time doing this alone, and you know how those roses can get. I'm really bad at doing voices consistently, or at all. You know how. You know how the monster can get. It's a little nerve-wracking. But Marisol is my friend. And who's going to help her if it's not me? I mean, there are other witches in this area. No, I want to do this. For every princess captured by a ferocious beast, there's got to be a dashing knight, That's definitely like a very, anime pose. I'm like thinking of Tuxedo Mask right now for whatever reason. Dashing knight? What happened to being a witch? Witch knights? Witch knights are definitely a thing, right? I'm a woman of many talents. Under the door. A rose. We follow her pointer finger to the far end of the hall at the door that leads to the staircase. The hallway is the unofficial safe zone of the house. The roses never come in here. At least me and Layla have always arrived before they started invading. But now, it slinks and twitches its way across the floor. The petals begin to fan out. Do something! Stay back. With a quick flip of latches, I open my briefcase. Lily's trimmers fit comfortably in the palm of my hand. All right, let's... And abruptly, it's face to face with me. I'm fighting rose plants. This is kind of funny considering that I very recently read a book about Gothic plant stories. And I can't remember the exact name, but I'll put the link in the description when I put this up on YouTube. But it was really interesting to read all these like kind of 19th century and early 20th century Gothic stories all about various types of plant monsters. Oh, Mad Dog Running, you're excited about this. There's a whole series of these. The other ones I remember where there was one about trains, one about tattoos. It seems like a really neat series. I can't remember who's published it right now. But yeah, Gothic plants, everyone's favorite. Oh, the rose has teeth, as in the rose, as roses tend to do, opens its mouth. That's kind of terrifying. Another day, another corpse waiting to happen. You've come here so many times, swaggering in the face of death. Do you want to applaud your bravado or your brainlessness? Humph, for your information. But now you walk in here alone, a girl turned a young lady before all our eyes. Surely you know it'll only get harder from here on out. This is your warning. You should leave this place and never look back. No. I mean, I'm not leaving until I have Marisol, and not until I get rid of you. What? That's it? You don't want to do more of this? I thought you loved your formula. Why do you suddenly want to skip all the foreplay? Alex. I pause. What? Why is she talking to Rose? Did it eat her? No, it's letting her talk. It does this all the time. Marisol, listen, just hang tight. I'm going to be heading up pretty soon. Alejandra, listen to me. Do not come up here. Tell Andrea that she and the other one are fired. I want you all to get out of this house right now and never come back. Mary, I don't know why it's making you say this, but it's not making me say anything, Alex. I'm telling you, of my own free will, to go. Marisol, you know I have to. No, you don't. I'm telling you. I'm giving you permission to leave. Do you really think I'm just going to let you die? The hall is silent. You know what'll happen if it stays too long. Leaving you like that is just as good as killing you. The petals of the rose gently retract and expand. It almost looks like a beating heart. Fine by me. Snick. It takes barely a flick of my wrist to drop the tendril on the floor. The rose's teeth are still now hidden under its petals. I lift it up gently and place it in my briefcase. The rest of the vine is already dissolving into ash. I love the idea of like, oh, yep, I'm a witch. Just let me take these vine cutting scissor things out of my briefcase and then put this dead flower with teeth into the suitcase as well, into the briefcase. That's definitely the best way of carrying things around. The door opens without resistance. In the living room, the kitchen, I can see a couple of wayward vines have started to creep in, but none with roses. They'll dissolve on their own once the monster leaves. I have bigger problems to worry about upstairs. Holler if you need anything. For God's sake, be careful. The stairs creak familiarly under my feet. You should have listened to her. The voice is familiar too. It never stops being unnerving, hearing it come out of multiple throats, by which I guess it means multiple flowers' throats. What is it about you and the word no, little witch? You realize you don't have your grandmother's shadows to hide in anymore, don't you? That was probably the one kindness that girl has ever given you, and you threw it away. You think that's the only time Marisol has been nice to me? For a guy who's been bugging a girl her entire life, you don't know a damn thing about her. Its voice goes silent for a moment. You probably think that sassing it would be just asking for trouble, but believe it or not, it helps. There won't be anything standing between us when you come to the attic. My thorns will open your pretty skin and leave you nothing but a heap of twitching flesh. Ugh, that's unpleasant. You'll feel the agony of 1,000 deaths before you die. Cool. Hey, hold still. I clip roses as I ascend the staircase, catching each one and depositing them into my briefcase. But the last one makes me pause at the top of the staircase. What's this you've got in your teeth? It's a page of a notebook paper, wrinkled and crisp from age and numerous folding. It's familiar. Dun dun dun. Pink, affection. Dark pink, gratitude. Blue, an impossible dream. Yellow, friendship, jealousy. Too many is dangerous. Too many yellows. Red, passion. No, anger. Black, death. Lavender, love at first sight. White, danger. Never listen. So maybe I shouldn't remember what color the different flowers are. We'll see how this goes. I will probably not remember which ones are which. Oh, geez, where did you find this? My nervous handwriting, a ghost of a hand scribbling in frantic attempt to keep up with my grandmother's instructions. My frankly embarrassing attempt at spelling lavender. That's not that bad. You only missed one letter. Oh, no. No, 2 letters. I clearly can't spell lavender either. When I was 13, I thought confronting Marisol's monster would be my greatest accomplishment as a witch. I wasn't actually sure we'd make it back alive, despite Layla's constant reassurances. I wonder what my younger self would think of me now, having climbed these stairs more times than I can count. My greatest accomplishment, now a regular house visit. You don't have that woman with you anymore. It wouldn't be sporting if I didn't allow you extra help. Awesome. Thanks. I snipped the rose with a little more force than necessary. So, the attic, huh? Dun, dun, dun. The attic is pulled down staircase. It's currently covered with vines, but those are actually the least of my worries right now. The hatch has locks, 3 to be precise, and they all look pretty secure. Hey, bucko, where are the keys? It doesn't reply. In 6 years of doing this, it has never once given us the keys when we ask. Somehow it's just become routine, and routine has historically been pretty comforting. Why do you still lock it? Okay. But the routine typically follows with the monster explaining what the keys are, a grandiose villain speech, as if we haven't heard it 1,000 times. Today it is silent, not even an evil chuckle. You're different today. For a monster, you're seriously losing your bite. It says nothing. Layla always said that if there's one thing monsters love, it's their formula. That's why you always come back and hide in the attic with Marisol, and why we always go through the same lines. Dastardly fiend, let that poor girl go. Haha, as if I would. You witches are so pathetic. I'll toy with you some more. Let's play a little game. If you can find the 3 kids hidden somewhere on this floor, something, time limit, clues, whatever. But now all of a sudden you're too bored to go through it? Honestly, what's the point of going to save a beautiful princess if we don't get to be a little dramatic about it? You can't save her. Oh, the monster says that. Fine, whatever. I need to clean up the roses in the other room anyways. I'll play your doofy little game like always, do some gardening like always, and I'll be right back with the keys before you can say Citizen Kane. Witch. Its voice comes from behind the attic door. I'll warn you one more time. This is your final chance to turn back. I shrug and start towards the reading room. I follow the vines and the scent of roses. Okay, I am annoyed at how they've shelved their books. just consolidate them. I don't like having books on their side on bookshelves unless you really have to. And these people clearly have enough room and don't have to do that. But I guess at least it indicates they're being used, that they're more than just a decoration. Ho-hum. Okay. It's a nice smell, but it has a tendency to become cloying the more time passes. Layla used to get headaches sometimes, but weirdly enough, I seem to be able to endure it better than her. Probably because you're not dealing with it as much. Oh, no, that was my mistake. I don't know. My first stop was the reading room. Andrea had said it was one of the most affected places, and sure enough, I can see a bit of roses. Let's see. Roses first, then we'll get back to looking for those keys. And it'd be nice to have a reading room, I think. I always kind of envied Marisol for it, even though I usually only ever see it when it's being choked with vines. I gently run my finger down one as I look around the room. It's warm to the touch. A reading room would be pretty rad to have, I have to admit. Though, I don't know. I'd have more art in it. Also more books. This doesn't seem like enough books for a reading room. Not nearly enough. Who's up first? There's a tall bookcase packed to the brim with books of all kinds. From the topmost shelf sprouts a single red rose. Prune the rose, listen first. Let's listen to it say horrible things. A pigeon crushed paper thin on the road, wings somehow spared, still spread, straining slack, dead tendons. Oh, I see we've got, like, Rorschach, the rose. The Reach for the Sun, a pop-up book from hell. Looking at roadkill is like, blah, blah, blah. Snip, 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 I cut it loose. On the shelf right below it, the books are slightly askew, as if one of their number is missing. From a gap sprouts a single lavender rose. Shoot, what were the lavender ones? I've forgotten already. Let me see if I can go and take a look at this. Be prepared. I clearly need to be more prepared for streams that want me to think and remember things. I've run into this problem once this week already. Okay, so Lavender Roses said, love at first sight. Okay. The witch had come to battle me many times, but this was the first time she brought a partner. The girl with a fluffy head and permanent smile, no older than my ward. She was frightened to see my face. I could tell that much from her tiny fingers clutching her notebook tight. But even as her grin went tight with false bravado, I could see the pride in her gaze, watching her grandmother get to work. And as I retreated, I threw one last glance over my shoulder. My name is Alex. I'm here to save you. I memorized her face and name, knowing she would one day become my enemy too. I outlined her features in my mind with animosity. And yet, somehow, it all felt like fondness. I cut it loose. There's a comfortable armchair begging someone to curl up in it. From the seat sprouts a single yellow rose. Okay, yellow is friendship, jealousy. Too many is dangerous. Listen first. She loved reading. She still loved reading. The beautiful words. The beautiful words. It would make her forget, for just a little while, the curse that hung over her head like a sword. You read so much, said the little witch. Why don't you tell me about the stuff you read? She shook her head, her clumsy tongue faulting, failing, tripping over syllables and second thoughts. It would be a mockery to the lovingly crafted books. What? How am I supposed to know why you like them so much? Because they make me forget how much I can't do. They make me forget the one person I am in this world. That's so silly. The little witch doubled over in laughter. You can do anything as long as you work hard and believe in yourself. Oh, I'm sorry, little witch. That is so not true at all. It's hard for me too, but I just had to give it a try. I'm sure you could go to school and be happy and be normal if you just tried a little harder. Because it's that easy. Because she had never ever once thought of that before. Because if it's so easy for you, I can do it too. Even though you're so much better than me and everyone except you can see it. In that moment, she wished she had never met the little witch. Okay, I was kind of confused as to who was talking in that bit. Okay. The stack of books on the floor by the armchair's feet, they seem to be from a series about animals aimed towards younger readers. From the topmost one sprouts a single blue rose. Let's listen to it as well. I once read a book about birds, which is a chapter all about cuckoos. Cuckoos, the book said, are the gangsters of the animal kingdom. They look for magpies who have recently just laid eggs, take an egg out of the nest, and replace it with one of their own. The magpies are forced to take care of the cuckoo chick, which eats far more than the rest of the chicks combined, so much that the other chicks simply starve to death. The book depicted the cuckoo chick as a grotesque monster, half of its body taken up by an eternally gaping mouth, screaming at the poor magpies. I hated that picture. I used to think cuckoo chicks were the most evil and despicable creatures on earth. Yeah, that seems fair. But how was the chick's fault? It never asked to be laid in that nest too small for it. It never asked to have a voice that cried louder and longer than its brethren. It was dropped into a world that never expected it to exist, and instead of trying to make the nest bigger or giving its parents enough food for all its sticks, everyone just blamed it for having a body that couldn't fit into the nest it never asked for. God. Why couldn't you have made me a magpie? I snip, 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 and slowly the vines begin to dissolve. Impossible dreams? Yeah. I don't know. Some dreams are just impossible. So some vines begin to creep away. The room is free of roses. Hooray! I guess that was everything. But I wonder, were any of the keys in here? As I scan the room, I notice a couple of books lying left on a side table, a dictionary and a birdwatcher's field guide. A book of words and a book of birds. I feel the universe is telling me something important. Should I look at one of the books? Birdwatcher's field guide. Is there any bird I should look up? Oh no. Okay. Can I remember how to spell cuckoo? Enter. I feel like I'm forgetting something important about birds. Oh yeah, I saw a picture of a crow with a tiny hat last night. I have to remember to save it to my animals wearing people clothes file when I get home. Anyway, where's that key? Should I look at one of these books? That clearly didn't work last time. How about magpie? Enter. I feel a lump of metal before I see it. A familiar bronze key is taped. Oops. What? Oh no. I feel a lump of metal before I see it. A familiar bronze key is taped to the page, right on top of the entry for magpie. One of the 3 keys found. I feel it shouldn't be that hard to find this. It feels like the very air of the house shudders. Shutters. Out of the corner of my eye, I think I see some vines undulating, but nothing happens. Getting a better look at the cluster of vines by the wall, I notice that a lot of them are feeding into a door right off the reading room. I wonder what happened if I looked at the dictionary. The office. Another room Andrew mentioned, right? This one has some art. I don't remember what Mr. Flores does. He's a specific doctor of some sort. Has a title with a long, complicated name. There's no syringes or anything in this office, though it's mostly papers and files. It must be a complicated job. There's some paintings on the wall, but they're mostly covered in vines. Within a smaller space, the smell of roses is growing, overpowering. Gotta get going. There are 3 paintings on the wall. From the white space between 2 of them spreads a pink rose. I'll listen. I returned to her on a gray December afternoon when the air was cold and biting. I enjoyed the winter, the day of cloud-quilted skies and no sun. Pink is affection. Time was passing and her skin grew colder and colder. Would today be the day? But then, all of a sudden, the room was warm. I told you we'd be back. She didn't know what to say after I was banished, but the little witch took her hand. She led her downstairs, and her grandmother fixed them a drink, thick and creamy, flavored with cinnamon. Horchata. I probably pronounced that wrong. And it warmed her stomach. The little witch asked her about the things she liked. She listened to her like she was the most fascinating person in the world. She told her about school and monsters and learning to be a witch, and it warmed her chest. Somewhere in another room, her parents and the little witch's grandmother were talking in low, solemn voices. But at that moment, the world was just the kitchen and the little witch, and their warm drinks, and the pale white sky outside. Snip, snip, snip. I cut it loose. There's a desk covered in papers, a small book, a red rose. Let's listen to the rose first. Oh, no. Yeah, that is kind of disturbing. Okay. A blue rose. Let's listen to this one again. I see a recluse. I'm sorry. The only time you leave your room is when you go to school, and you certainly aren't making any friends there. Oh, that's not very fun. I'm sorry. I know your condition is hard to deal with, but God, if you could just try. I am trying. Why won't you say anything? Do you hate me that much? I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. People are talking. They probably think we mistreat you. Why can't you ever think about how this affects us? I'm sorry. God, don't cry. I'm only telling you this because we want to help you. We don't know how you're feeling. We only know what we see, and in my eyes, you're the loneliest person I've ever known. And in my eye, that's the best thing I could be. I cut it loose. Okay, a yellow rose. Listen. Yellow means... okay, friendship and jealousy again. I used to like it when you told me about your studies. It was also interesting. You always blushed saying your magic wasn't as cool as the stuff I read about in books, but of course it was. Magic was magic. And your magic would only get more powerful when you got older. You were already so amazing. By the time you become an actual witch, I understood. You have so much talent. You're so amazing. You're going to be a wonderful witch. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be alive the next few years. Maybe the monster will catch me off guard in a year and kill me. Maybe next week. Maybe tomorrow. You have a future. I have a curse. If I was braver, I would have just told you I didn't want to hear about that stuff anymore. But I didn't. Bitterness was so much easier. I'm sorry, Alex. A supportive friend is all I can be. I'm not even that good at it. These roses with teeth are really reminding me of the Corinthian from the Sandman comics, who was the guy with teeth instead of eyes. Like mouths instead of eyes. I guess not just teeth. But yeah, they're kind of spooky. Teeth where they are not supposed to be is generally a spooky thing, I think. Okay, vines curl to ash, rose retreat, 2 rooms down, good job me. Let's see if there's any keys in here. There's a number of places it could be. Okay, I look at the paintings. I remember a suspicious book. What should I look at? The book or the paintings? It's probably in the paintings, but I'm pretty tempted to look at the book. Anyone have any thoughts for which one I should go for? Book or paintings? That book is very suspicious. It's all small in there. Let's look at the book. Oh, Mad Dog Running says the book anyway. Okay. The key was in a book last time. Maybe that's the theme for today. I look closer at the book. It says, ... What to do when your child breaks your heart? It looks dog-eared. Let's look somewhere else. Just look at the book forever. Paintings. There's a painting of a woman lying in a river, a painting of a wheat field, and a portrait he commissioned of Marisol. Which one should I look at? Girl in the river? Oh, yeah, this one. I can't remember who did this, but yeah. Older painting, girl is surrounded by flowers and her palms float to the surface. It seems dreamlike and peaceful, but it makes me uneasy for some reason. Is there something off about this painting? Her hands, her face, the flowers, rethink my actions. The flowers? There's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pansies. M for murder. And waiting for Godot. Billy, what? Okay, joking plus nervous just equals bad jokes. Her face? Too familiar. I don't like it. Her hands? There's something really off-putting about her hands. They seem lifeless. Okay. Who would have thought being a critic was such hard work? Let's try a different painting. The portrait. It's a portrait he commissioned for her 18th birthday. It's kind of a weird style compared to other paintings, but at least the artist captured Marisol's hair. That's a lot of hair. Her eyes stares directly at the viewer. I always did think her gaze was intense. Is there something off about this painting? Her shirt, her hair, her eye. Her hair? I really like how it looked. It's long and flowing. The artist really got it across how it looked different in different lights. Peach and blonde and almost kind of pink. Strands of red if you look really close. Or if she leans over it and some of her hair falls on your shoulder. Apparently she's very tall. It looks fine in this picture. I mean, obviously it's gorgeous. It looks fine. Okay, her shirt. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, not a fan of wearing pants. I don't even remember what I was going with this. Yep, okay. I'm clearly not picking the right choice. Her eye? It's an eye, just an ordinary eye. Wait, her eyes stare straight at the viewer. Or at the wall opposite the painting. Hey, there's something in the wall opposite the painting. I'm a genius. Look how easily I found this key. I can't believe I overlooked that. I would have been so embarrassing if I missed that one. The bathroom is pitch black when I arrive. Vines are leading into it, but I don't smell roses. I smell something like meat. Ugh. I turn on the light. Uh-oh. Not looking forward to this. Oh, shit. That's bad. Woof. Well, gang, I must say I'm not a fan of anything that's happening in this room. But cleaning the bathroom's always the worst chore, am I right? Yes. Roses not have a sense of humor. Oh, we have great sensitive humor, say the roses. You just aren't very funny. Okay, great. Awesome. Let's just get to it. From the head of a corpse sprouts a single red rose. I don't know if I want to listen to this one. I guess I'll go with it anyway. I like going on walks with my parents. Those were some of the better times. In the summer, when we would see the yellow flicker of fireflies in the evenings. In the autumn, when the sky was pale and the air was cool. Those walks made me feel like I was a normal person. Wait, hold on. Is that a filing cabinet in the bathroom? That's definitely a filing cabinet, right? What does the chat think? Does the chat think that's a filing cabinet or something else? Don't want you wearing those shorts. What? They're so long. Of course I knew that. I liked them because they were long. As far back as I can remember, I hated my big, thick thighs. It was such a relief when I saw that the gym shorts they gave me at school almost fell to my knee. Mad Dog Running. Not sure if it's a filing cabinet or not. You really shouldn't be wearing shorts like those. What does it matter that they're long? You're a young lady. Mom, what are you talking about? They make you look like a woman who likes other women. Oh, okay. I walked back to my room and dug out the tiniest, most awkward pair of shorts I owned. I hadn't worn them since last year. Every second of every minute of that walk, I felt my legs being squeezed like meat. but at least I didn't look like a woman who looks at other women. Yeah, there definitely is a homophobia in this story. It's weird. I think I prefer the corpse in the bathtub to dealing with the homophobic parents in this game. I only go on walks by myself now. Cut the rose loose. Okay. The toilet seat. A yellow rose. I would have preferred it if the colors in the larger room art reflected the colors of the roses. I think that would be neat. But whatever. I'm really curious about this body. I'm gonna have to deal with it. Your cute little cartoon eyes. You with your long, slender legs and your curvy chest and your perfect, sleek little waist. You turned to me and said, "Do I look fat in this?" Alex, I love you, but sometimes I swear I could just smack you. That does it. I throw my shears down on the floor. If it's so damn awful being my friend, then I'll save you the fucking trouble. Betty and Andrew's questions blur into meaningless noise as I storm past them. I make sure to slam the door behind me as hard as I can. I start the long walk home as raindrops begin to pepper my head. I try to ignore the tears. I don't look back once. Have I gotten... Oh, what? Yeah, friendship and jealousy. I guess too many is dangerous. I should not have... I got a bad ending. Frig. Okay, let's try again. Let's skip that. That was unexpected. Yeah. Yes, I'm prepared. Can I auto? Skip. Okay. Skip. I guess any good choose your own adventure thing has sudden unexpected endings. Okay, so I'm going to... Okay, what were the colors again? The colors were pink is affection, dark pink is gratitude, blue is an impossible dream, yellow is friendship or jealousy, red is passion or anger, black is death, lavender is love at first sight, white is danger, never listen. I'm just going to skip them all. Snip, snip, snip. I cut it loose. Prune the rose. Cut it loose. Yellow. Prune the rose. Cut it loose. Prune the rose. Great. Good job, me. Were there any keys? Books? Let's look at the bird. Let's look at the dictionary. I look through the pages in. My vocabulary feels so expanded, but seriously, I should focus on finding that key. Okay, so this one again, and it was magpie. Or does anyone have any other birds I should look up? Penguin. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Nope. Okay. So apparently, not. Okay. Magpie. I hope there are secrets that if you type in the right bird name, it gives you something. Okay. Okay, got the key. Let's skip forward. Prune the rose. I'm gonna stop. Prune the rose. Skip. Prune the rose. Skip. Prune the rose. Skip. The paintings. Let's look at the field. Yep. Okay. The murder of crows flies overhead. Makes the painting feel like it's moving. Somehow it feels ominous. Rethink my actions. Now let's look at the middle painting again. Portrait. Her eye. Great. Okay. Prune the rose. Okay. Was this the one that caused me? This is the yellow one. So I think this is the one that caused me to run out again. So let's prune this one. And I think we're back up to... Okay. I'm going to save here. And then return to the game. Okay. A black rose. Black roses mean death. So this will kill me, right? The toilet thinks it's a razor. From the razor sprouts a single black rose. Let's listen to it. It'll kill us, right? At 15 years old, I realized I hate shaving. My razor uses too many blades. 3 blades for smooth skin and a close cut. We throw in an extra blade for free. Close cut. 2 blades too close. It'd be so easy. Coward. Ugh. You say you want it. You have all you need. A pair of slash wrists for the price of one. Small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Not even a coward. An attention whore. Pig, how dare you go looking at me like that? How dare you force them to look at you? This game is pretty grim and upsetting, really. Your legs, your arms, your stomach. Coward. Just looking at you makes me sick. Just, okay. Yeah. You make me sick. I read it in a book. They check the wrist. They won't check the inner thighs. Only half a coward now for half the price. Cut the rose. Mirror is cracked in the center. Cracks a single dark pink rose. Dark pink is gratitude. This one seems nice. One day before I left, I waited at the window. I saw the little witch pat her trembling shoulder. It's okay now. The little witch smoothed her hair out of her face, and for a moment she left her fingers between the yellow locks. It's really pretty. She lifted her head. Huh? Your hair's so pretty. It's like gold. It's like you've got supermodel hair, you know? She stared at the little witch. She, who had spent so much time looking into mirrors. She with ghostly patchwork scars between her legs. She stared at the little witch. Why are you crying? Even though I took care of all the roses, the vines are still strewn around the room. Okay. I know where the freaking key is. Which option should I choose, chat? Should I choose to examine corpse, or examine corpse? Which one do you think I should do? 1, 2, or 3? No opinions? Death corpse. Okay, well, I guess I'll go with the second one. It's not a corpse, it's hamburger meat. Obviously. Hamburger meat in a coat and wearing a wig. A wig, a shirt, a bit of creativity and posing. The monster's done this bit a million times, and it stopped scaring me years ago. Good thing I brought gloves. Sure do love being a witch. I know you're all in my briefcase now, but I suddenly feel like talking really loudly. Totally unrelated to any meat sounds that might now be happening. My hand closed around something, but this doesn't feel like a key at all. This is a note. Okay. Based on Marisol's description of her more irritable episodes, I'm now almost positive her previous diagnosis was inaccurate, or at least only partially correct. Combined episodes of depression and hypomania most likely point specifically to bipolar 2 disorder. Mad Dog Running, this is gross. Fairy Librarian, ew, indeed. Yep, I'm very glad I am not a witch who is doing this in real life. Proper treatment for patients with bipolar 2 is of the utmost importance. Furthermore, bipolar disorder is a condition that can heavily exacerbate ocular rosacea. Besides restarting regular therapy sessions, getting a prescription of mood stabilizers as soon as something will be vital. I'm going to recommend something colleague of something. Son of a gun, you actually managed to do something unexpected after all these years. The vines creak as they retract from the bathroom, and suddenly it seems more like a laughter than anything. If the key isn't in here, there's only one more room it could be in. That's okay. That's it. If the Fairy Librarian, that's okay if you're not chatting that much, but thank you for trying to watch as much as you can. I hope no one's expecting me to clean this up. There are 2 housekeepers whose job it is to clean up hamburger meat in the bathtub. So now we're in a room, smaller than you might expect. Surprisingly plain at first glance. A desk, a bed, a closet, 2 small bookcases. Rather sad, but I think this room has more decorations than my current bedroom does. You can see from behind me all of the decorations that are in my room. Well, there's one other, but it's not there. But yeah, it's basically just this ghost and some Lego sets. The windows are cracked, opening up the faint melody of raindrops and the scent of warm earth. It mingles nicely with the smell of roses. Oh yeah, Fairy Librarian, one thing you can try to do if the stream is not working great for you is you can lower the resolution. There should be an option there to change it down from like, I don't know what it's streaming at, but change it to like a lower, bring it down to like 360 or something. Might make it work better for you. Just a possibility. Mingles nicely with the smell of roses. The bookshelf is packed tight with books. From the highest shelf spreads a single black rose. Let's listen to this one. Or should I save again first? Oh, I don't have the option. Listen first. The baby wants up crying. Okay. Your sister only visits a few times a year and you honestly can't spend a little time out of your room. I'm sorry, I just wanted to get away from the noise a little. Why won't it stop crying? For God's sake, it's a baby. You don't think you weren't the same way? That's literally not the point at all. How can you not see the point? Fine, I guess I can't do anything if you want to be selfish. Shut up, leave me alone. Do you think bad people have a responsibility to protect other people from themselves? I think so. I can't fix myself. No one can. Not even Donna De Rosa. Not even Alex. Not even magic can help me. If I stay away from people as much as I can, I won't be able to hurt them. It's probably better this way. I'm sorry. The monster laughed above my head. I cut the rose. Okay, well, it's white. White is danger, never listen. So we're going to save, return, and then we're definitely listening to this one. Listen. Parts. In the silkiest, most honey sweet voice I've ever heard, it sings. Sometimes I just hate you. The woman named Alejandra de Rosa is dropping her shears. She's staggering in place as if her legs cannot bear the weight of the words she just heard. She's barreling out of the room. She's running down the stairs, barging out of the house. Running, the cold chill of the rain like needles on her skin. Running is... Oh shit, that actually just quit the game entirely. Whoops. Well, I guess there was a warning about that, wasn't there? So that's kind of fun. I'm glad I saved though. Let's get the game open again, and hopefully that will only take a moment. And then we can, if it deleted my saves, I'm going to be very upset. We do well with doing the wrong thing. You know, I'm purposely doing the wrong thing though. Like the creators wouldn't put the bad endings into the game if they didn't want people to see them, right? That's my opinion on this, at least. Okay, just give it a moment, and there we go. Okay, preferences, music is still there. Great. Okay, load this one. Yes. A single white rose. Never listen. Okay. Prune the rose. They're emblems of purity. That's why they're so dangerous. Layla once told me that humans have no completely pure emotions. We're strange and jumbled creatures whose feelings are always shifting, being mixed and muddled with other feelings. Break the game is your usual mode. Yeah, that's fair, Fairy Librarian. I do enjoy breaking games. One of my favorite other streams is people that play bad games all the time, and they always try to find the sub-ocean, which is when you like fall through the floor or clip out of bounds, and what you do then. I think it's really fun. So yeah. Okay. Strange and jumbled, always shifting, being mixed and muddled with other things. That's why we sometimes say terrible things in a moment of anger. In that instant, your heart is tricked into thinking the anger is all that's ever been. But even if you hurt someone with your words, you always have the chance to apologize. You can explain yourself and do your best to fix the damage. But a white rose takes your words and makes them pure. It pulls out all your tangled feelings and reasons and warps your statement into truly pure, untainted emotion. It makes your words turn to blades that strike straight to the heart. It turns them into words that can never, ever be taken back. A statement of pure despair, a statement of true anger, of hatred. Many people have taken their lives after listening to the words of a white rose. Spooky. I take the flower and gently place it in my briefcase. There's a dip in the mattress, big enough for body. It's still warm. In the center is a pink rose. Pink roses are affection. We can listen to this one. You're being all quiet. Is something wrong? Marisol, what? Do I have something on my face? Beside my hair, I mean. Why did you come today? Well, you said you wanted to go to the movies today, right? But that was yesterday when you... What, because of the monster? It's going to take more than that, too. Alex, I yelled at you. I called your grandmother, Mary. You kept your mouth in a placid smile, but your gaze was firm. Listen, it's okay. You were stressed yesterday, and you said some things you didn't mean. It happens to the best of us. Not to you. Layla already forgave you. Look, honestly, I think she thought it was kind of funny. So it's all okay, okay? You don't have to beat yourself over it. I think it's getting worse. The monster? No, it's making me worse. Like anger, meaner. I don't know. I'm getting scared of myself. Alex, oh my gosh, are you really going to ask if I'm scared of you? Marisol, I'm literally a witch. Witch in training. Whatever. My point is, if anything, you should be scared of me. You know, there's rumors about me and my grandmother around town, right? They think we sacrifice cats to the devil and use bone magic. What the hell is bone magic? I wish any of my magic was half as metal as that sounded. I laughed. So you're saying I should listen to rumors? Absolutely. I'm super creepy and weird, according to them. I managed to laugh again. You're the furthest thing from creepy. You're so cool and brave. Oh my gosh. Like you aren't brave with all that you go through? That's not bravery. Not a moment of that is bravery. Nope, sorry. I'm declaring it a fact now. No, come on. Attention world, Marisol Flores is officially super brave. It is approximately good trait number a billion of her many good traits. Literally, what good traits? Oh no, don't answer that. Super brave, super smart, a great listener. Says really interesting things, smells like flowers. Okay, let's go to the freaking movies. Haha. Honestly, hang out with me like this, you must have a death wish. Yep, a very cute death wish. Well, I have died in this game twice already, basically, so clearly I have a death wish. I cut the rose. On her dress is a brightly colored box tied with a cherry ribbon. From the ribbon sprouts a single red rose. Listen. God, I don't deserve to call myself your friend. Your hands are warm around mine. Shut up. I really don't. It's just getting worse, and now it's literally not a big deal. It's okay. Why do you keep, and I jerk my hands out of yours. Why are you telling me it's okay? You're the one who, and I finally fall to my knees, sobbing. You drop with me, and I hate it. I hate being held with those arms. I hate that I'm not noble enough to push you away. I hate myself. I hate myself. And you hold me anyway. Distantly, I'm aware the vine's making noises of retreat. They're retracting out of the room. The box has a label on it, just one word. Alejandra. It's a book. It is a long title that I've never heard of before, but I love it already. And there's a card. You really shouldn't be reading this right now. Well, in any case, congratulations, Alex. I know you've been waiting to become a witch your entire life. For what it's worth, I've always considered you the best witch in the world. I'm sorry I couldn't give this to you on the day it became official. Sorry I do so many things worth apologizing for. Thank you so much for being my friend all these years. I really can't thank you enough. I really appreciate your friendship. I love you. If I haven't told you already, I want you to leave. If you're reading this, you're probably getting ready to come to the attic. Please don't. Just take this gift and walk out of this house. Don't worry about me. Just focus on being a witch like you've always wanted. I've asked so much of you, but I promise this will be the last thing. Knowing you, you'll think you're obligated to come rescue me. It's very sweet, but you know you can't save me. Please, Alex, go live your life and forget about me. I can't leave? That would be another ending, but I'm not going to do that. Open the book. I flip the front cover of the book open. Something small and silver is lying on the front page. 3 out of 3 keys found. Yeah. I start walking towards the attic. I sprint towards the attic. It takes me a moment to work the door open, and I go up the stairs. She's taking so long. Can we be sure she's okay up there? She'll be fine, trust me. She's the only person in this house who knows what she's doing. But what about Marisol? How can we be sure that thing hasn't hurt her? Okay, so guesses on what I'm going to find in the attic? More hamburger people or like something else terrible? I can't believe this happens regularly. How has she been able to survive this long with a monster constantly trying to... Why are you making that face? Evil garden. Well, I think the entire house is kind of an evil garden. Mad dog running. You do know there's no monster, right? What? Huh? The attic, as always, is surprisingly clean. Aside from the massive vines creeping across the walls, it could basically be called spotless. Her bed is... I want to know what book I got. Her bed is by the window, as always. Only her head moves to me. Whoa, flower for an eye. You really suck at following directions, Alex. Haha, good to see you too. I was hoping this time you might not come. This art style, I find it really familiar, but I can't remember which artist it reminds me of. I don't really know why I expected today to be any different. Well, we got ourselves a nice little pattern going on, don't we? More like a rut. The same games, the same goofy lines. I've been pretty sparse with the goofy lines today. Good for you. Something about saving a princess, something about you being a brave knight, etc. And what's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this? Nice girl. I don't think I've seen one today. So how are you? Dying. Right. Let's get to it. So, the bathroom. I thought we were kind of past the fake body in the bathtub thing. Hey, don't ask me. The monster did that. Uh-huh. That's a lot of hamburger meat. How would you even get that? It seemed nostalgic. Since you were the real deal and everything. Since now you're the real deal and everything. Sort of like, haha, remember this thing? Like and share if you're a 90s kid. That apostrophe is in the wrong place. 15 magic spells only 90s kids appreciate. Okay, so what are 50 magic spells that only 90s kids appreciate? It would be like kind of pre-internet stuff. So probably like instantaneous communication ones would be like ones that cell phones can be used, or not, nobody actually calls anyone on the cell phone, but like instead of text messaging, instantaneous text communication. finding knowledge skills, like location spells. So like, oh, where am I on a map? How do I get to this location? That would be a spell that only 90s kids would appreciate because like now we just have apps. No, I guess people from before the 90s would appreciate those too. I don't know. Reading rainbow spells. Yeah, reading rainbow spells. Definitely only 90s kids appreciate those ones. 25 roses you've pruned if you were a 90s kid. Only 90s kids remember the sheer terror of seemingly finding their best friend's corpse. Hey, complain to the monster if you don't like it. I do kind of love the idea of like one of those listicle articles that's like 10 places you don't want to find a corpse. You won't believe number 7. It's a joke. I didn't mean. I think we both know that's bullshit, Mary. Clip. All day you've been trying to push me away, and now you're going to act like this was all just some big goof? Well, obviously, you weren't listening to me. If you were just going to pretend that everything was A-okay, I didn't see the point in trying to. Sorry, you think I'm pretending everything is A-okay? Well, yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, Alex, but that's kind of your thing. Clip. Fine, let's talk. Oh, it's my weird briefcase full of roses. Why did you keep telling me to leave? You only ever used to do that while we were doing the whole monster act. You never used your real voice. Why are you suddenly... I'm the last person in the world who'd have to explain your own condition to you. If I didn't come up to this, you would have died. Is that what you wanted? I mean, have you been listening to me these past 6 years? You've been the closest friend I've ever had. You know basically everything about me. You know I'm not getting any better, but you're not getting any worse. Am I really? Every time I wake up, it feels harder to get out of bed. I feel less and less. I feel like I can't remember what kind of things I used to like. I feel like I can't remember the last time I was happy. But do you know what the worst part is? I don't have a single reason to feel this way. I have a good life and a nice family. Nothing terrible ever happened to me. But out of nowhere, God, I can't even remember when it started. It feels like just one day my heart stopped beating. One day I woke up and I was a corpse. Clip. I'm so tired. This person needs a therapist and potentially medication, I think. I don't even know why. It all just feels so empty. So empty except for the vines and the rose. You know, at night, sometimes when it's really, really quiet, I think I can hear it growing. Sometimes I just hear it making noises, and I'm pretty sure it's laughing. Most of the time, I feel like I'm just pretending to be a human being, but maybe I really am a monster. A monster, a corpse, and a princess. You're building up quite the resume. Anyway, that takes care of everything. No more vines, no more roses. I see one more rose. Are you sure? I think you missed a pretty big one. That joke stopped being funny years ago, you know. Who's joking? I'm not going to kill you, Marisol. Then maybe I'll kill you. Oh? Yeah. Tell you what. If you don't pluck the rose out of my eye, I'll take this vine and crush your throat like a soda can. Ugh. Terrifying. Come on, don't make it sound appealing. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm going to save again. Just in case I have a choice here. What? Don't talk like that. You're the one talking about strangling me. Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah, obviously. I thought we were doing a bit. No, I'm not. Why do you always just go along with everything? I shouldn't be making jokes like this. You shouldn't just be okay with me making jokes like this. It's terrible. I'm terrible. You're not terrible, Mary. You're having a bad day. I've been there. I know what it's like. You know what it's like? You know what it's like? Alejandra, what the fuck do you know about having a bad day? You're perfect. Marisol, come on. You're so perfect and beautiful and witty and talented, and you're a witch. You've barely just become a witch. You're amazing, and you have no idea what it's like being this. Being a burden. Being this ugly, horrible thing. I'm barely even human. I'm a shitty little heap of failures in the shape of a person. If I'm not feeling utterly miserable or feeling sorry for myself, I'm this horrible, irrational bitch making life a living hell for everyone around me. I know what people say about me. I know what they think that when they see me. I know my parents hate having to deal with me, and I don't even blame them. I hate living like this. I hate myself, and you just sit there and won't let me end this. But you think you know what it's like. Shut up. I'm so sick of this. And if you're not going to do it for me, if you won't do it for me, then at least look the other way. Just stop, okay? Stop acting like you have an idea what I'm going through. That's your... I also have a weird rose eye. That was unexpected. How did I hide this for so long? In retrospect, I always find it kind of funny that you never asked why I also covered up my other eye. I thought you were trying to be cool. Ha. It's real? It's real. 100% genuine ocular rosa I can't pronounce that. We've known each other for years, and I never even... Well, I try to keep it under wraps. But you can't be... You're so normal. Am I? You were probably too busy ragging yourself to notice, but I'm not exactly well-adjusted myself. But you are. You're normal and happy. You tell jokes. Yeah, as a deflection? You think it's normal to be like, haha, I'm so tired of everything and want to ultra die. Why do you think I always crack jokes when things go south? It's the only way I know how to handle it. I guess when I say it like that, it makes sense that you'd always think I always pretend everything's okay, especially when I was too much of a coward to show you my rose. Sorry. You're right about one thing. I don't know what it's like to be you. You've got a lot going on. I don't have mood springs like you, and my vines aren't nearly as bad as yours. But everything you were saying right now about feeling like a burden, about feeling like you couldn't remember what it's like being happy, feeling like you woke up dead one day. It's like you looked into my head and pulled it all out. A girl like you shouldn't want to die. And a girl like you shouldn't feel like you're committing a crime just by existing. But here we are. Here's the thing. You can swear up and down that you want to die and that you've been asking for me to kill you since the day we met. But that doesn't change the fact that you've always let me a way to find you. Do you ever feel like me, like there's no hope? Or you have no reason to look forward to waking up? Yeah. Then how do you... I find reasons, no matter how silly or small. It can be looking forward to mastering a new spell, or drinking horchata, or... Would you like to consider being a witch? Would you ever consider being a witch? What? But I'm not. The only thing magical about me is... What, you don't think that counts? Lots of notable witches have had ocular rose... I cannot pronounce that word. Layla told me about them. I think she probably never brought it up with you because it's tough for someone who's not in a family like us to become official. But I mean, your family isn't anything to sneeze at either. What I'm saying is, trying to become a witch isn't exactly a shabby reason to stay alive. In case you haven't noticed, witches are rad. Definitely. I could do worse things with my time, especially if it's kept you around this long. You know, the worst I ever was when I was about 13. That's the first time I remember thinking about, without a shred of a doubt, I want to die. You know what helped? My grandmother told me she knew about another person with my condition, a pretty girl my age, and she offered to introduce her to me. The day that I knew that I wasn't the only person in the world with OR. Okay. I can't even describe it. To feel like you're utterly, completely alone, and then find someone like you who's pretty and smart and has this way of talking about things she loves, like that's just makes your blood feel electric. Someone who tells you about some things she saw and makes you feel a little like you were there. Someone who makes you look at the world in a new way. I've just realized that there was a reason that the portrait in the office only had one eye showing in it. I am very smart. Becoming a certified witch was my long-term goal, but it definitely was not the only thing that's kept me around this long. But let's take this one step at a time. I think becoming a witch could be really good for you, and it might even be a good way to direct excess negative energy from your flower. But it wouldn't be an instant solution to everything. I just want you to understand that. You won't be replaced with a perfect magic you. You won't stop having bad days. I figured. You'll have to fight through them. And of course, I'll be there to help you. So, can I ask you to do the same for me? I mean, you've always been that person for me, but it's just always seemed irresponsible to consider you that way somehow, without words. I'm just trying to say, can you help me through the bad days too, if it's not? Alex, you honestly thought you'd have to ask? It's the least I can do with all you've done for me. Besides, kisses. Us lovely corpses have got to stick together, you know. ... Yeah, I know. So I really have to be getting rid of these. And I'll tell my grandma about what we talked about. Maybe she'll even agree to be your sponsor. And call me, if you ever want to vent or anything. Alejandra. You can't save me, Even if I become a witch, even if things get better, I'm always going to have this rose. I'm always going to eventually have days like today. And I'm always going to come on days like today. And I'm always going to come on days like today. You're going to get old walking up those stairs, Yeah. I can't wait. The end. It's really funny. I did not think, like, I was dyeing my hair this color for the stream, but more because I thought it would be, because that's the color of hair dye I always have. And then my makeup was to match it, but it matched the color scheme in this game as well. This game was like not what I expected. I don't know. It was really interesting. It was cute. I like the art a lot. And I also like that it just quit the game at one point for me. That was kind of fun. I wonder if there are other endings. Like, what were the other? So the roses again, where there was pink for affection, dark pink for gratitude, blue for an impossible dream, yellow for friendship and jealousy, but too many is dangerous. Red is passion or maybe anger. Black is death. Lavender is love at first sight, and white is danger, never listen. So I wonder if I like listen to some of the others, like there's another ending to get, or if I've gotten all of them. Or I guess there was the leaving ending that I skipped out of. Anyway, this was fun. I like this one. I've been doing this, as I said, for Book Club for Masochists, a reader's advisory podcast. We have 2 episodes out every month. You can go to our website at bookclub4m.com. I'll go back to this one. There it is on this side. Our most recent episode was about alternative history fiction. You can listen to that. And we've got our episode about visual novels will be out in September if you want to check it out. And I'm streaming every day on Twitch, and they're all going up on YouTube as well. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for checking this out. And pleasant screams. Later. Bye.